Hi, I'm Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Brandon.
Hi, I'm Oliver.
And I'm Linda.
Tennessee Fried Chicken, also known as TFC, has reached out to Bliss market research firm to understand 18 to 24-year-olds' motivations towards purchase of checkout point purchases. Our job is to provide recommendations to TFC to maximize their profits by increasing the units per transaction. We will recommend different strategies that can be incorporated into the training of staff to increase additional purchases at the point of sale without decreasing overall satisfaction.
In order to achieve TFC's objective, we must first determine the research design and data sources. The survey aimed at 18 to 24-year-olds was conducted to understand the consumer's behavior towards 3 varying levels of pressure when engaging in a purchase with TFC's staff. From this, the respondents answered questions on the likelihood of purchasing a drink, perceived pressure, satisfaction levels, and personal information such as gender, ethnicity, income, and education.
To analyze the data collected, the software SPSS statistics was used. The software allowed for a thorough analysis of the data where many tests, including one-way ANOVAs, t-tests, regressions, and correlations were run. The survey received 1,257 responses, and from this, we now must start cleaning the data in SPSS. Due to this project's narrow focus with regards to the 18 to 24-year-old age range, survey responses from outside this range were removed. To increase the reliability of the data, respondents that took more than 1,000 seconds to complete the survey were also removed. In the interest of keeping tests and by extension suggestions simple, the ethnicities Black or African, Hispanic or Latino, and others were all recoded together as other. Lastly, in order to increase the logic of test results, the scale of likelihood of drink purchase, perceived pressure, and satisfaction were all reversed. Therefore, the data was recoded such that extremely likely, strongly agreed, and extremely satisfied were denoted by 7, not 1.
The method utilized is underpinned by the goal of providing reliable logical conclusions within the young adult age range that can be translated into targeted strategies at the point of sale. The analysis of the data was also grouped into 2 major factors, visible and non-visible. Visible factors included the gender and ethnicity of the customers, whereas non-visible factors included income, education, and their relationship status. As TFC is a fast-paced, low-transaction company, where typically the cashiers are teenagers and young adults, we have deemed that there is not adequate time or experience for the cashiers to identify levels of education, income, and relationship status.
After running these statistical tests, we were able to gain a better understanding of TFC's 18 to 24-year-old target market and specifically what motivates them to purchase an additional drink at the counter. Looking at all respondents, we find that there is a significant relationship between level of pressure and likelihood of drink purchase, denoted by a one-way ANOVA p-value of 0.000. There is also no significant relationship between level of pressure and satisfaction as the p-value is 0.493.
Upon conducting an ANOVA test for gender and satisfaction, we found that men and women do not differ in satisfaction with regards to the level of pressure. However, an ANOVA test for gender and likelihood turned out significant, and we concluded that men and women do differ in likelihood of drink purchase as pressure increases. Furthermore, based off our regression calculations, we found that men and women's likelihood of drink purchase and satisfaction were affected differently as perceived pressure increases. Women's satisfaction decreased more than men's satisfaction when perceived pressure increased, while women's likelihood of drink purchase increased more than men's as perceived pressure increased.
The one-way ANOVA conducted into the selected case of white ethnicity showed a significant relationship between the level of pressure and the likelihood of purchasing a drink, with low pressure yielding the highest likelihood. For Asian consumers and other ethnicities, outcomes of the one-way ANOVA suggest to use high pressure. Analysis showed insignificant relationships between level of pressure and satisfaction when running one-way ANOVAs across all ethnicities.
An ANOVA test relating pressure condition and perceived pressure and 2 correlations finding the relationship between perceived pressure, likelihood of drink purchase, and satisfaction were also ran during our analysis on the data. From this, we found that white women responded the worst to high pressure, while Asian men responded the best.
However, while non-visible factors do affect consumer behavior, due to the difficulty of actioning recommendations surrounding these factors, we have decided to narrow our focus towards visible factors. With this in mind, we'd still like to highlight the following key observations. With regards to income, consumers with an income bracket of less than $75,000 respond better to high-pressure interactions. For both single consumers and consumers in relationships, there is a significant relationship between level of pressure and likelihood of purchasing a drink, suggests that relationship status does not significantly impact consumer behavior. Respondents with education levels below certificate and advanced diplomas respond better to high pressure.
The results are out. So what do we recommend TFC to do to achieve their objective of maximizing their profits? Well, focusing on different visible groups, we have come up with the optimal strategy for each one. These strategies should be implemented in the training of existing and new staff in order to maximize units per transaction while still maintaining satisfaction.
For white men, use low pressure. For white women, use no pressure. For Asian men, use high pressure. For Asian women, use low pressure. And for other women and men, use high pressure.